Welcome back, St. Marians. Once again, we are here with the 10th class History and Civics, and today's topic we are going to discuss socio-religious reforms and importance of press in the growth of nationalism in India. So, first of all, I would like to tell that whatever that question answers was given in chapter number 1, you have to complete. As I have told you in previous video that you have to complete 20 question answers. So, I am zooming these question answers. You can note down, and who are not having the old book, they can go through from here, and they can see which questions are matching, which questions are not matching. So this was that problem of one student. So I hope you got the solution. And now we are going to start chapter number 1, chapter number 2, the topic socio-religious reforms. So let us start with the topic. Before starting the topic, I would like to tell what are the socio-religious reforms. Socio means society, religious means religion basis, that reforms which are based on religions. So these reforms were there in Indian society in 19th century. So what is the need of these reforms, and why Indian society was not having that much awareness about these reforms? So let us discuss that India was following that old system of education or Gurukul system of education, and in Gurukul system of education we were having Sanskrit, maths, and religious education, and in which we are not having the science, which we are not having that social science, which we are not having that English. So due to these things, Indians were not having that proper knowledge of Western education, and they were lagging behind. So few of the Indian leaders take the education from the Western education, and they found that this system is rational, humanitarian, and having the scientific approach to life. And afterwards, they realized that drawbacks of Indian society. They thought that whatever the evils of society, and they found that dowry system, child marriage, caste system, and parda system, sati system, and child infanticide, especially the girl infanticide. So these were that social levels, and with this thing, in religious sphere also some reforms were needed. So whatever that things were there in the Indian society in the religious basis, superstitions were there due to lack of scientific knowledge. Uh, and idolatry means that worshipping of idols were there. Polytheism were there, means worshipping of many god, and due to this these problems were there in the Indian society, and these were not good for individual liberty and the social equality. So these were the obstacles in the way of individual liberty and social equality. In this, untouchability was also there, which was having a great problem in the Indian society. So we'll discuss all these things, and the role of great personalities, we can say so: Raja Ram Mohan Rai, who established Brahma Samaj; Swami Dayanand Saraswati, who established Arya Samaj; and Swami Vivekanand, who established Ramakrishna Mission; Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, who established Satya Sodak Samaj. So these were the pioneers of Indian social and religious reforms. So let us look on the personality. I know that you understood well who is this personality. Yes, he is none other, Mr. Raja Ram Mohan Roy, and he was one of that pioneer of social and religious reforms in India. As it is clear by the name, he was from Bengal, and he fought against that social and religious evils which was spread out in Bengal that time. And he throughout his life he devoted himself for the betterment of the society, either the political point of view, or that social point of view, or religious point of view. So he went to he has studied Bible in its original, means Greek and Hebrew. He has learned Bible, and he has written that book which is known as Gift to Monotheist, in which he put forward his views against the belief of many gods. Means we can say so Raja Ram Mohan Roy was a monotheist or believing in one god, and he was against that worshipping of many gods. And 1814 he established Atmiya Sabha, and he carried on a persistent struggle against the worship of idols and meaningless religious rituals. So he fought against that evils of Indian society, and he founded Brahma Sabha and Brahma Samaj, and he also focused on prayer, meditation, charity, morality, and strengthening the bond of unity between that men of all the religions and creeds. It means that Raja Ram Mohan Rai was trying to unite the society. He was not believing in the caste, creed, color, or he was having that rational and humanitarian approach of society with the religious forms. So let us go through whatever the religious reforms was made by these personalities. So he was a pioneer of Indian journalism. So at that time in 19th century, he started Bengali weekly called Samvad Komadi, and in 1821 he also established that paper in Persian called Mirat ul Akhbar. So through these newspapers and weekly magazine, he keep his views to that common people in English, Hindi, and in Persian. He was writing, and he was spreading out his scientific approach with the political knowledge and that social awareness in the people. And he was willing to write about that public opinion to be changed in aspect of social as well as religious and political point of view. So it was a great achievement of Raja Ram Mohan Rai that he made persons aware, and many people link with that Brahma Sabha, Atmiya Sabha, and Brahma Samaj. So we are discussing about political rights. So if we are discussing about political rights, that he demanded that abolition of the East India Company's trading rights and heavy export duties on Indian goods. So as we have read in class in chapter number 1, that problem of India's peasants or India's craftsmen were there, that heavy export duty. We cannot export our products to other countries because we were having heavy export duty. So he was against that one that time, and he also demanded that separation of executive and judiciary trial. So he was thinking so that if executive and judiciary will be separated, then impact on that Indians will be less of Britishers. Means they cannot suppress Indians brutally if the judiciary and executive will be separated. So in other words, we can say that Ravindranath Tagore and Raja Ram Mohan Rai, these two persons were having great role in the reforming of Indian society, and he is also known as the prophet of Indian nationalism. So Raja Ram Mohan Rai was having a great contribution to improve social as well as religious reforms in India. So now we are moving to the next slide. Before going that one, I would like to tell about personality. He is Mr. Jyotiba Phule. So, who was Jyotiba Phule? Uh, he and his wife both were social reformer. His wife was known as Savitri by Phule, and they started that first girl school in Pune, and they established a school for untouchables and started the private orphanage for widows, and he opened the widow remarriage movement in Maharashtra and worked for education of women. So we can say so that he is also one of the prominent personality after Raja Ram Mohan Rai. So he was an urban educated member of so called low caste. So he belonged to low caste, so that's why he worked against untouchability. He worked against widows problems. He work against orphanage, orphan people, orphans, and we can say so that these both were the lights of Indian society. Raja Rammohn Rai, Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, as well as Savitri Bai Phule, who was the wife of Mahatma Jyotiba Phule. So let us go through whatever they have did. As I told you that they uplifted that woman. I have already discussed a school for untouchables, orphanage for widows, and one more. He was in favor of widow remarriage, and he also having the liberal ideas, and he was thinking so that untouchability is a curse for Indian society. So let us go for next few reforms. He considered that caste system should be abolished. He also wrote about this system in his famous book Gulamgiri, and he described that hardships and distress felt by the lower caste. So we have listened about B.R. Ambedkar also. In that case, we have if you have gone through that life or autobiography of Mahatma Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, then you can understand that what were the conditions of their of untouchables or lower sections of society. So he worked against that one so that they can also uplift their life. So he was also in favor of social justice, and that's why he established Satya Sodhak Samaj. In 1873, he also worked for upliftment of untouchables, and he established the Satya Sodhak Samaj, and he worked for that entry for that lower caste in the temples. So now we are going to discuss that social justice and social reformers. So first we are going to discuss about Swami Dayanand Saraswati. So he established Arya Samaj, and he focused on religious reforms as well as social reforms. So he thinks so that Indians are superior, and no other caste is there beside Indian, and he worked for that betterment of Indian culture and civilization, and he thought so that all the Indians are equal, and there is no discrimination in Indians on the basis of caste, creed, color, and religion, and all are having the right to worship, all are having the right uh, to be equal to each other. So next we are going to discuss that is untouchability and caste system. These ideas of brotherhood and equality was introduced by social reformers, and they said that all that Indians are equal, so that all the Indians came on same platform, and that growth of nationalism or feeling of oneness introduced in Indian society by these reformers. So next one we are going to discuss that the reformers taught that people not to ignore the importance of women. So either that Raja Rammohn Rai or Jyotiba Phule or Rabindranath Tagore or Swami Dayanand Saraswati, Swami Vivekanand, all focus or concentrated that all are equal, either that lower section or upper section, male, female, all are having equal rights in the society. So if all are having equal rights, then all are having right to think, and all are having right to oneness and unity in India. And this thing improvised that Indian society, and that's why they came forward against the Britishers. So last point I am going to discuss that domination of India. So Dayanand Saraswati said that India is for Indians. So this slogan was very popular, and all the Indians were united with this slogan because they thought so that this is that land of Indians, not Britishers, and that's why that Britishers should not be dominant on us, and we should be dominant in our motherland. So one more point is there that these reforms brought the society together, and they also work for the unity of the society. So let us go for next topic, that is role of press. So large number of newspapers were started in the half of 19th century, and many of were like Bengali, like Tribune, the Pioneer, the Times of India, Hindu, and the Statesman in English. So these newspapers were working for the betterment of Indian society, and through these newspapers, many of the newspapers were criticizing that British colonial policies, and they educated Indians were reading those newspapers, and with this they were knowing that what is going on in the world, and they know that freedom, liberty, and equality, and they also came to know that where is India, what the condition of Indians and what the condition of other countries people, and they realized that uh, we are lagging behind somehow, and whenever they think so, then they decided to do something better, and all the Indians were united. So newspapers played significant role for a strong national sentiment. How? I told you, by criticizing that British policies, by knowing that Britishers' position in rest of the world, and by knowing that whatever the terms and conditions of life for other country and their citizens, and whatever the terms and conditions for Indian citizens. So now moving to that last point of the chapter, that whatever was the role of press. So first point, that by criticizing that British government and policy, daily newspapers, that feeling of oneness through the liberty, unity, and equality, and home rule league spread out among the people of India or educated Indians. Second one, that press carried daily criticism. As I told you that British government was doing something wrong that was coming in the mind of Indians. They were discussing to each other, and they were coming to know that whatever right, whatever wrong, and they turned against the British government. And next one, that exchange of views were there, and by articles, by blogs, people were coming to know whatever the people are thinking in rest of the world about India, and whatever the people are thinking about the Indian society, and what should be that real condition of Indians. They were thinking about this, and they were discussing about this one. And the one more point, last point, that it made Indians aware that what was happening in the world, means rest of the world, what is going on, where they are, where we are, and these condition or these situation change the mentality of Indians, they change the mind of Indians, and it became an active dose to the Indians, and they became very aware about their rights, they aware about their equality, they aware about independence, they aware about what the Indians should have and what the Indians are having. So these were that definite points for role of press. So now we'll complete the next rest of the topic in next video. Till then, have a nice day. Stay home, stay safe, and stay tuned.